Hey everybody, this is Rob Benedict, and I got a recommendation for you. This is really fun. It's a fictional chat show about friendship at the end of the world. It's called World Gone Wrong. World Gone Wrong is a cozy chat show hosted by best friends Malik and Jamie, and it's set in a wildly fictional world. So Malik and Jamie discuss topics like, what do I do if my ex-boyfriend gets taken over by an alien body snatcher? That age-old question. How worried should I be about sewer alligators reading maps in downtown Chicago? Which, that's not so much science fiction, that's real. Should I change my office hours to accommodate the vampire student in the class? That seems only reasonable. Or what is the deal with that guy showing up in all our old pictures? You might have a ghost issue. You see what I'm getting at? This is a show that's set in a supernatural world and just purporting to be a normal old chat show. It's super fun, and the message is kind of living through the apocalypse is hard, but it's easier with friends. Learn more at audaciousmachinecreative.com. That's audaciousmachinecreative.com. They release episodes bi-weekly on Tuesdays. And it's from the team that brought you Unwell, a Midwestern Gothic mystery. They know what they're doing. So check it out. World Gone Wrong from Audacious Machine Creative.
This episode is brought to you by Temptations Cat Treats. Your cat will come running for the perfectly irresistible Temptations Creamy Puree and Temptations Lickable Spoon Cat Treats. The best time to feed lickable cat treats to your cat is anytime. Feed by hand for a playful moment, in a bowl for a creamy treat, or as a topper to make mealtime fun. Visit temptationstreats.com to learn more.
In 2005, two brothers hit the road to fight monsters. That road has led them to fighting demons, angels, and saving the world.
It's a journey that is taking them to heaven, hell, and back. But they aren't done.
Join our journey as we go episode by episode, following the adventures of Sam and Dean Winchester. We break each episode down with the writers, producers, directors, crew, and actors to bring you the behind-the-scenes stories of how this legendary TV series was made. That guy right there, that's Rob Benedict. He played God and Chuck Shirley.
Hey, and that guy there, that's Richard Spade Jr. He played Gabriel, Loki, and the Trickster. And P.S., he directed a bunch of episodes, too.
Now, while we are insiders, we're also outsiders, because we're not experts. This is our first time watching the entire series, all 327 episodes.
Rich and I have met many of the fans at conventions around the world, and we are deepening our understanding of why you all love this series so much. Because it's really good.
Yeah, it is. Now listen, there will be spoilers, so consider yourself warned.
And thank you for joining us on this trip we call Supernatural Then and Now. Hey everybody, this is Rob Benedict.
And I am Richard Spate Jr.
And we are talking about Season 7, Episode 14, Plucky Pennywhistle's Magical Menagerie.
That really doesn't sound like a Supernatural episode.
It really doesn't, but it rolls off the tongue.
Yeah, it sounds like a creepy child's show,
Yeah. No, I think that was the idea, Richard.
Oh.
Yeah.
Now I get it.
It rolls off the tongue like a bag of rocks.
Sure does.
And it's such a coincidence that people call you Plucky Pennywhistle.
And they call you Bag of Rocks.
And I like to have menageries.
Robbie, I bet you played the gentleman caller in Glass Menagerie at some point in college, didn't you?
You know what's funny is I actually played the daughter, Laura.
I knew it.
In a Christopher Durang play that was mocking the Tennessee Williams play.
I love Durang.
And,
God, he's a great playwright.
And so I was playing the daughter.
That's awesome. Very funny.
Yeah. But hey, bringing it back to this, thank you for listening, everybody.
Yeah, thank you for listening, everybody.
And if you're new to the podcast, please give it a 5-star rating on Apple or Spotify.
We're not asking much. All we want is a perfect rating from you people.
Yeah.
That's it. All we're asking for is you to ignore our foibles, pretend like there are no typos,
lie,
absolutely deny that Rob has sexual innuendo dripping from his mouth at any given moment.
Oh, boy.
And just give us a 5-star rating. Come on now. You know you want to.
Well, the way you put it, I don't want to now.
If you had a podcast, we'd give you a 5-star rating.
That's true. We would.
You might have a podcast and we don't know about it. But even though we don't know about it, mentally, we've given it a 5-star rating. So do that, won't you?
All right, Plucky, Pennywhistle, let's get into this.
Let's do it.
Sam runs, terrified, as he's pursued by two evil clowns.
That's the end of the summary. So listen, I liked it. Oh, wait, there's more. Sorry, go ahead.
Cut to 60 hours earlier. Sam and Dean arrive in Wichita, Kansas to start a new case. At the morgue, they investigate a body that has evidence of giant suckers and a neck wound.
Yeah, it's really gross too, by the way. The effect of that was
super gross.
well done
So
and
gross.
yick.
Yeah. The boys interview the victim's widow, but don't learn much. The widow sends the brothers to speak with the family's nanny. They discover the victim skipped his young daughter's birthday party at Plucky Pennywhistle's magical menagerie so he could work.
But that's not what you think, man. The way the wife talks about it, you think, oh, he's doing something with the nanny.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely.
That's what you think.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you and I thought.
But you know what, Robert? He was not.
No, and he's not. Sam interviews the girl and sees her drawing a tentacled monster she believes lives in her closet, a monster she warned her father about. Meanwhile, back in the present, Sam continues to take on the two evil clowns. He goes to shoot one of them, but his gun only fires confetti.
Which is funny, by the way.
Yeah, it's totally funny, the whole thing. The whole fight is hilarious. Elsewhere, we see a man chased and impaled by a unicorn.
Is that Saint elsewhere?
Hey, again, people with the 80s TV references, how can we not
I mean, that's
be winning?
If that's not worth 5 stars.
5 stars, guys.
I don't
stars.
know what is.
Dean speaks with the victim's widow and discovers the man was also at Plucky Pennywhistle's for a birthday party the night before he died. Dean decides to interview the victim's son while Sam heads to Plucky's. We learn that when they were younger, Dean would drop Sam off at Plucky Pennywhistle's for long stretches of time.
Lucky Sam.
Sam interviews the establishment's manager, Jean. She tells him about how they have the children draw their worst nightmares and fears so they can watch their fear disappear. The 2 drawings by the murder victim's children are missing from the display wall. As he's leaving, Sam is stopped by the janitor, who says he might know something and that he can fill Sam in after work. Unfortunately, the janitor gets killed before he leaves work by an unseen monster in the ball pit.
Wait a minute. The janitor was in your office? Oh, I forgot about that coincidence. Rob also calls his office the ball pit.
See, that's the only reason you wanted me to read that line that way.
5 stars. So that's all we ask.
Sam and Dean believe the children's fears are coming to life and killing people, but they can't figure out why. Also, meanwhile, we have to put at this point, Sam is very afraid of clowns.
Yeah, that's not really in this synopsis, but yeah,
Right.
he's petrified of clowns. They established that early on, and he really reacts. I mean, Jared plays Sam's fear right on the surface there. When Jensen mentions it, he's like, "Oh man, I don't know, not a fan," you know.
Yeah. So he's got to sort of confront his fears.
Right.
So the brothers return to Plucky's to investigate further. Sam continues to pose as an FBI agent. Dean tries to blend in with the crowd. Sam starts with Jean and learns she was recently promoted to manager, and some of the other employees might have been jealous. Dean meets a boy named Tyler, whose mom is an overworked Plucky employee.
By the way, I think both the mom and the kid are great.
They are great. That was a great little C storyline kind of through the thing.
Yeah, but I mean, it worked because really the dynamic between the mom and son was
You felt bad for both of them.
yeah. You felt her fatigue and her desire to do the right thing. You felt the kids
Yeah.
frustration. I mean, in a small amount of time, they really established a really great relationship.
Yeah.
Really well performed.
Yeah. So the boy draws a robot and said he is scared of them. There are lasers coming out of the eyes.
I am scared of robots. I wonder what he'd think of robot Mike Borja, the bass player for Loudon Swain.
Oh, he'd be terrified. I mean, yeah, because Mike's terrifying. He would be terrified.
But Mike's a shorter robot.
That's right. A shorter, he's a robot disguised in a very sweet man's body.
Very palatable form.
Yeah. Dean worries that Tyler's mom might be the next victim. Sam plays hardball with his interviews. He talks to the prize counter guy, Howard, who seems harmless. Next, he speaks with an employee dressed as a mascot. That was a pretty
That
funny
was
scene.
funny. That was funny. I like that a lot.
And learns that the costume man and the janitor used to hang out and hear strange sounds coming from the boiler room.
It's funny. You and Sam have a lot in common because Sam plays hardball with his interviews, and you also enjoy playing hardball.
5 stars, guys. 5 stars on Spotify or iTunes.
You know, it's funny that people can't. My God, you know, it's great. People can't really appreciate this. But whenever I start talking and Rob knows it's going to be a joke, he just deflates. I can just watch Rob sink about 6 inches as he's trying to be professional. He's trying to do a 6-star show. And I keep pulling us down to 5 stars, you know?
I'm shooting for 6 and you're shooting for a good 2.5 and somewhere in the middle. During all of this, the show continues to cut back to the present as Sam fights with clowns. So this is this the one where there's a countdown clock? Yeah, there's a countdown clock, sort of like where you're coming back to the present and you know how much time.
I remember that because there's one they said right freaking now. You know, like they sort of are comedic with
exactly.
their time jumps.
Exactly. Yeah. So back in Plucky's, Tyler and his mom are leaving. The boy complains about his mother working too much, but Dean gives the boy a look and the child apologizes.
Because they connected. Dean and the boy kind of had a, paternal or big brother, little brother bond there.
Which is interesting because Dean was the one that dropped Sam off at the...
I know, but Dean definitely has the big brother paternal energy thing going in spades.
Yeah, maybe Dean learned something is what I'm saying.
Right.
Sam trails Tyler and his mom to make sure she doesn't fall prey to anything.
Like a giant robot?
Yes. Dean investigates the sub-basement and discovers evidence of hoodoo magic and a fire.
Yeah, the fire is kind of like...
Still going.
I feel like somebody would have figured out there's a...
Smoke in the basement.
Ongoing, continual fire in the basement.
In the basement. Suddenly, mild-mannered Howard shows up with a gun drawn on Dean.
Whoa. And at gunpoint, he says, I'm going to marry the angel Anna, whether you like it or not, sir.
Exactly. Howard, in real life, played by Julie McNiven's husband, Michael.
What's Michael's last name?
Beck. Michael Beck.
Michael Beck. All right. Well, he did a great job.
He's so great.
In this episode, by the way. And I watched the whole thing. I have met Michael. He's a lovely guy. I don't know him super well. And I did not know that he had done an episode of Supernatural. So the whole time I'm watching, I'm thinking, man, whoever's playing this role is killing it. And also, side note, he reminds me a little bit of Julie McNiven's husband.
Yeah, I was like, I had known he was in it, but then I forgot. And so I was like, wait.
But you connected the dots for me, and I was like, oh, right. Wow.
Yeah.
What a cool coincidence.
So good.
He's so good in this.
Yeah, he's great. So he tells Dean that he has put a curse on Sam, and he's about to be attacked by his greatest fear, clowns. Both timelines have now caught up. We're in the frickin' present, and Sam is fighting the clowns.
And that clown fight is one for the books, man. It is.
It really is.
It is everything they wanted it to be. It's violent and hilarious and grounded. Like, it feels real in the supernatural scheme of things.
Yeah.
Jared plays it completely honestly. No wink, wink, nudge, nudge. He's just fighting for his life against these clowns. These clowns are creepy as hell, but also very much clowns.
Yeah.
And just the physics of how they can fight based on them being clowns is super clever. Well done by the stunt team and the director and Jared and the guys who are playing the clowns. It's just really well done. It's hilariously violent.
Yeah, like he hits them and they laugh, and the sound effects are like, and there's like a squeak when they, It makes you scared of clowns in a way that like it does. You know what I mean? Like in it, he sings like sort of fun clown songs, but he's so evil. So it's a great
juxtaposition.
Yeah. Sam is fighting clowns. Dean is facing off against Howard. Howard is angry that he didn't get the manager job, and he also wants to punish bad parents.
You're not wrong about that. Parents need to, sharpen up their skills, pay attention to the kids.
Parents like his own, who he blames for letting his brother drown.
That's also a brutal story because, you do feel bad for Howard.
Yeah.
When you find out his childhood trauma and that his parents blamed him for something that definitely was not his fault.
True. Dean uses some of the magic against Howard and summons the ghost of Howard's dead brother. I mean,
Didn't you find that you were sympathetic to Howard in that moment when the dead brother showed up?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, like you said, it's a horrible...
Yeah, because I know he was bad and killing people.
Yeah.
But he was also a traumatized child who never grew up, who was fighting his own internal battle and took it out on other parents.
Yeah.
So in a weird way, his heart was in the right place in terms of the children.
Yeah.
But very misguided in execution.
Yeah.
And maybe he should have gone into early childhood education or become a therapist or something,
Or just gone into therapy. himself.
Gone into therapy and then become a therapist. Very different episode of TV if that's what had happened. But
We wouldn't have had this episode if that had happened.
But I will say, when the brother shows up and it's the drowned brother,
Yeah.
cool makeup, cool thing. But I'm like, oh man, this is a bummer that this guy has to die by this method for something he really, I mean, yes, he did bad things as an adult, but he was just an innocent kid who got caught up in this awful thing. Anyway, I thought it was cool. It made for a complex bad guy.
And a really horrible death
Yeah.
because the spirit kills Howard with a touch, filling his lungs with water. With the magic caster dead, the evil clowns disappear too, but not before covering Sam in seltzer and glitter.
Which was, again, hilarious.
Hilarious.
Hilarious way for that fight to end.
Dean can't help but laugh at Sam's appearance when they meet up. And I can't help but thinking that was Jensen laughing at Jared a little bit.
Yeah.
And Dean apologizes for being so neglectful and leaving him at Plucky Pennywhistle's when they were kids. Sam admits that fighting the clowns was therapeutic.
Right, and then Dean gives him the clown doll in a really funny moment of like, well, then good, here's a souvenir.
And then he tosses it.
And he's like, what? He's like, you're over it, so now you can have the souvenir. And the last shot is that clown like abandoned on the pavement as they drive off.
Yeah.
Really great.
Yeah, so very, very creative episode.
Yes.
And really, honestly, it could have gone either way for me. I was like, what is this going to be? Is this going to be, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Because, Plucky Pennywhistle, and it was brilliant. It was really brilliant.
Yep, I agreed. I enjoyed it a lot.
A script by Andrew Dabb and Daniel Laughlin, directed by Mike Roll. I mean, it was really, really, really
Great
well
work
done.
by Dan Laughlin and Andrew Dabb. Great work by Mike Roll across the board. Just really, really clever.
Yeah.
And great work by Michael as Howard and all the guest stars. Great.
Yeah, 100%.
Including, we don't call it the stunt team much, but they get called out in this one. The stunt team is always great, but putting on the clown makeup and playing real characters while also doing the fight was next level. It was really great.
Yeah. That clown fight in and of itself was pretty fantastic.
I'm saying it was just a standalone, outstanding episode.
And a special shout out to the glitter.
Big laugh. Got a laugh out of me. I'm going now into a new segment of the show, Robert.
Oh.
Maybe you will recall this this segment. It's titled thusly. R. Rob and Rich. Ratings.
All right.
I can dive in if you'd like me to just get the ball rolling here.
Please.
I really enjoyed the episode. I thought it was rock solid. Again, Michael nailed it as Howard. Empathetic, scary, and empathetic, which is a hard balance to strike. I thought Jared played the honesty of a guy afraid of clowns really well, and also the fight with the clowns was really exceptional. Obviously, there's some goofiness here in the hard cop grilling of a kid in a mascot suit. There was a couple things that bummed for me were timeline issues, like when they go in and there's been a murder in the ball pit, but somehow they're able to sneak around and there's not cops swarming the place, investigating the murder. The place is empty. It struck me as odd. Struck me as odd that the restaurant would be open the next day with just the ball pit roped off. I mean, again, tiny little logic things, but just things that kind of felt like, and an ongoing fire in the basement that was unknown to everybody else.
Yeah.
Except for the janitor, I guess.
Yeah.
And the fact that all that took place during the day, gunshots down there, and meanwhile there's kids upstairs. Again, I'm being nitpicky, but because the show holds such a high standard all the time, these are things that keep a Stapleton at bay for certain episodes.
Okay.
That said, it was a great episode, super fun, well done on so many levels. Again, the little kid who played Tyler was adorable, and the mom just frazzled and fantastic. The store manager, the young lady who played that, was great. Across the board, solid episode. Mike Roll did a great job directing. Again, great writing. I'm going to give it the sea captain from The Simpsons. I'm going to give it the beard of the sea captain from The Simpsons, in keeping with sort of the clownish comedy of the thing.
What does he look like?
The Simpsons character. Yar, he's got a white beard and has a pipe.
Okay.
It's a full beard, Rob. It's a cartoon beard from The Simpsons. Yar.
Oh, that's good. That's good. That's very fitting.
In keeping with the theme.
In keeping with the theme, yeah. Well, in keeping with the theme with the funny people with beards, because I do think, too, it deserves a full beard. But I agree with you there. Yeah, sure. If we pick it apart, we go, oh, also, there are no unicorns. You know what I mean? Like, you have to.
Oh, I'm glad you brought that up.
Disbelief.
Really good point. I'm not saying that in the logic of it, but that murder, that one of the unicorn was so clever.
It was, yeah.
Like, do you remember the shot that? So I'm glad you brought that up because we watched this a little bit ago. But Mike Roll did a shot where he starts through the hole and the camera pulls back through the hole
Yeah.
to reveal Dean, or he does. I can't remember exactly the minutia of it, but it was a really cool shot where the camera pulls through the hole, the bloody hole that the horn of the unicorn had left. It was really cool.
Also, when you see the unicorn run away with with a rainbow coming out of his ass, like that's really funny to me too. Like that's the world we're in.
Yeah, really well done, really clever.
So I'm gonna give it the Zach Galifianakis from The Hangover.
Dude, solid. That's a great.
Yeah.
This episode's getting great reviews here. I mean, let it be said, these are full beards, both of them.
Full beards,
impressive beards.
Yeah,
and not temporary beards. Not Jim Morrison, who sometimes has a beard. These are guys who exist in a bearded world.
Yeah, in a bearded world.
And they are high water marks to achieve, and this episode has achieved it. So,
and we're better because of it, because of their beards.
Yes, congratulations to this episode.
Congratulations.
And to us, really.
And to us. I give us 5 stars.
Yeah. Rob, the bummer is,
I
don't think we have much of an interview for this episode.
Well, we've got we cobbled something together, and we hope everyone's going to be happy with it. It is someone that did work on the show.
Yeah, but did they have an impact on this episode? I don't know.
I feel like they did. I feel like this is a good episode for them.
Well, we'll see if you can milk some information out of this. I don't know how long we can carry on an interview with this person. I don't know. I can't remember who it is. When you tell me, I'll be able to know.
No, we're kidding, of course, because we have the one and only Jared Padalecki joining us, returning to the podcast.
Numero uno, he likes to be called.
Numero uno on the call sheet. He played Sam Winchester for the entirety of the show.
How many episodes did he appear in?
327.
That's almost all of them.
That is all of them. Because he's Jared Padalecki and he played Sam Winchester. So we had a great talk with our buddy Jared, and here's how that went. All right, everybody, we have it's such a pleasure right now. We've got the one and only Jared Padalecki joining us. Hey, buddy.
What's up, brother?
This is one of those podcasts that when you watch, you think, how did they get that guy? And now I realize you just got to put Rob out there in something slinky, and then Jared will return his calls.
He looks good in lace. Yeah.
It's just a bustier to sort of like...
Yeah, I was wondering why every text from y'all came with like a headless picture of you and some other
blurry
outfit.
Yeah.
Well, it worked.
We want to keep the mystery alive.
Jared, we haven't had you on since the beginning of the podcast, and I just want to say, Rich and I are watching the show for the first time, and you do exceptional work on the show. Like, I've known you for years now. I've never seen it all in context.
Yeah.
And your character, more than any, you have to go so many different places. You know, I personally have a fan of Soulless Sam.
My favorite.
Sexy
My
Sam,
favorite.
yeah.
Dude, I got to tell you something. If you knew, I mean, friend to friend, never listen to this podcast, because if you heard Rob gush over Soulless Sam, you'd be uncomfortable in the green room.
You're trying to avoid him forever.
Yo, dude, you'd go like, yeah, stewardess, can I move seats?
But just props out to you, man. It's really excellent work, consistently.
It is true. I mean, like Rob and I've been just flabbergasted. Obviously, we know you as a friend for so many years and know your work.
Yeah.
But to go back and watch it in order and watch when you were basically a kid starting the show going forward, it's just remarkable talent, both you and Jensen. I mean, holy smokes.
Thanks, man. Both of y'all. I will say it's funny. I was going to watch these shows before because I knew we were going to be talking about, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to just try and remember what I remember.
Yeah.
Because I think season 7 would have been 2012, 2013. So we were just having Tom, who's now 13.
Wow.
I'm like, I don't know if yeah. But it's fun to go back and watch. And I think all three of us will forever be grateful for our fandom. But I did do Supernatural Wiki, Plucky, Pennywhistle, and it was like a picture of us. And I'm like, I'll forever be grateful for the fandom. But at some points in time, the fandom should say like, hey, Padalecki, we love you, but cut the fucking chops.
Yeah, the chops that came all halfway down the cheek.
Oh yeah.
Like Elvis with an attitude, right? It just kind of came down and they just made a sharp right or left, depending on the side.
Yeah, you could, looking back, you could tell
edge.
What year it is based on what your chops are doing.
Oh yeah. The hair, the length of the hair. And
yeah.
Back in those days, I was trying to kind of distract myself from my wife's pregnancy and my first child by just working out and eating a lot.
Oh yeah.
Okay, here's the part I missed. I did the same thing with our second child. I forgot the working out part. I just did the eating a lot. And I was the size of a house, so at least you were fit as a fiddle.
I
you
was
had that
still the
going.
size of a house. I think I was.
But a brick house. I was more of a collapsing shanty kind of home.
Hey, this is Jeffrey Dean Morgan. We are going to take a quick break.
Hey guys, it's Rob. I like to be dressed nice. I like wearing clothes that make me feel good about myself. I wouldn't say I'm like super big on trends. I don't even know what's in and what's out. All I know is when I feel good. And I found this place, Quince, online. It has everything. Well, first of all, it has everything you want to wear for summer. But they have the kind of clothes that I like to wear. And what's great is it's half the cost of other similar brands. So you go, all right, what's the catch? There's no catch. They work directly with top artisans and they cut out the middleman. So Quince gives you luxury pieces without the markups. But you say, but Rob, this is surely made at some kind of questionable factory. No. They only work with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices. And you say, Rob, the fabrics probably aren't great. They work with premium fabrics and finishes. But you say, Rob, they must only have clothes for you. No, they got clothes for everybody. Great clothing at half the cost. It's a true story. So I recently got one of these because I was anticipating summer. I got a short sleeve button-up number that it's white. It's linen, and it's very handsome. And I've been wearing it up and down the boulevard all around town to every function that I've been invited to. Now, I have to get another one in a different color because it's getting... now I'm just the guy in the cool white linen shirt. And you know what? I'll take it. I like this product. I like what these guys are about. And I think you will too. Quince. Made well. Made quality. Made cool, and not so hard on the old pocketbook. Stick to the staples that last with elevated essentials from Quince. Go to quince.com/STN for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/STN to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/STN.
You chose to hit play on this podcast today. Smart choice. Progressive loves to help people make smart choices. That's why they offer a tool called Auto Quote Explorer that allows you to compare your Progressive car insurance quote with rates from other companies. So you save time on the research and can enjoy savings when you choose the best rate for you. Give it a try after this episode at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Hey, it's Jeffrey D. Morgan again. Welcome back to the podcast.
Specifically talking about the Plucky Pennywhistle episode, you're very believable, your fear of clowns. Do you, in real life, how do you feel about clowns? Are you cool with clowns?
Yeah,
or?
well, that's a really funny thing. Not only am I not afraid of clowns, but I was a massive clown fan. I don't know how to say it. As a kid,
Wow.
I'd have clown-themed birthday parties. I have a picture of me, my third birthday party or my fourth birthday party, I think, sitting on my bed, which had a clown comforter, and I had a bunch of clown dolls. I always loved clowns. And so it was, I was always like very much the, hey, let's go to Chuck E. Cheese or whatever it was and see if we can see a clown, or we're at a fair, or we're walking around. I was one of those kids that probably would have gotten into a clown car with a clown if they offered me like to squeeze their red nose or something. But yeah,
which by the way, kids, listen, don't do that.
Do not. And also to the clown community, don't invite children to squeeze your red nose. I mean, that's an awful approach. Even if your heart's in the right place, that's just. Ugh.
So have you taken, when the kids were younger, did you take them ever to the Chuck E. Cheese and those kind of places?
The ball pit really creeps out Jen. And I remember from 15 years ago, whatever it was, 13, filming it, there was the ball pit death in Pennywhistle. And it was like there was throw up or urine or something. And we've since heard stories about like having to clean out ball pits.
Oh, yeah. Nothing savory about a ball pit. Do not throw a black light on a ball pit. You know what I mean? Like you do not want to know what's going on.
Right. Well, it's sort of like we've obviously traveled the world together in some way, shape, or form for the past decade plus. And when you go to a hotel that you've never been to and there's like a decorative throw, you're like, they've never washed this. And so you're like grabbing a towel to pull it off. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
like, there's no chance they ever wash this. So I'm going to go ahead and like germaphobe.
Yeah.
Interesting side
Yeah,
note, Rob's nickname for his office is the ball pit. So it's
It's a great name.
a
It's a great name.
correlation
BP.
there.
BP.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah. Are your boys fans of the Five Nights at Freddy's?
What's that?
What?
Five Nights at Freddy's. It was a video game that then they made into a movie last year.
Okay.
It takes place in like a Chuck E. Cheese kind of place at night, and the characters come to life.
Like over the course of 5 nights?
I guess so.
I say, well, cool. My 2 younger kids got out of school last week. We talked, and my oldest, Tom, y'all know, he's out tomorrow, and so we're gonna have some time to.
Cool.
If I can do Five Nights at Freddy's with them and make sure they need therapy as an adult, then I'm happy to do it. So,
Yeah. Yeah, I would.
One-stop shopping.
Don't let them enjoy clowns like you did. Ruin it for them now.
nightmares.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know Five Nights at Freddy's, but I'll look at it. Is it Freddy Krueger? I imagine.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. That threw me off too. It's not. Like I saw the movie. I'm like,
No.
oh, it must be a Freddy Krueger thing. There's
Oh,
nothing to do with Freddy Krueger.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You have a lot of great physical moments in this one where you're fighting with clowns. Do you remember if any of the clowns were stuntmen?
I think they mostly all were.
Oh, were they?
That's my memory of it. The sequence in the warehouse where I'm fighting 2 clowns and they ultimately explode into glitter, which was actual glitter, by the way, in which
What? I wondered that.
yeah, it was actual glitter. I mean, that was a visual effects shot where they vanish, but they did
Right.
blow me with glitter. And
Jesus, how long did it take to get that off?
I was going to say months. Like, I feel like 3 months later, I'm like, my ear itches. And what the, like, and I showered, believe it or not.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that was a huge day. And sometimes, I don't know about y'all's experience, but for me, I remember how exhausting it was physically and how much, in my experience, it's much more exhausting physically to be in a scene where you're getting beat up than when you're doing the beating upping.
Interesting.
Yeah, because you're reacting to nothing, and then they're kicking you in the head or they're throwing you against the car, as opposed to being the guy who's like, yeah, bang, 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 and then they fall. My respect for stunties in general went way through the roof, because when you have to throw yourself onto a car or onto the ground or get kicked in the chest to fall back, like doing that over and over and over and over again. I remember that day was so exhausting. Specifically,
wow.
Yeah. The day where Sam fights the 2 clowns in the warehouse up against the car. That was one of the most physically arduous days of my experience on Supernatural.
Wow.
So this is an interesting scene and question to piggyback on that, because the sequence, the whole episode, there are elements of humor in this episode that are just there.
Somebody want to say real high, real fast.
Woo!
Hey!
Oh,
America's sweetheart.
Real sweet. Woo!
How are you?
How are you?
Came back from a workout.
Are you afraid of clowns while we have you?
No, he is.
No, my character was. I had clown
You
parties.
did too. Your mom said that you were hiding in your room in the corner when she had a clown party.
That was something different. No, I have a picture of it. I always loved clowns. I had a clown bedroom. I'm afraid of bears.
I mean, I didn't know him then, but the story goes that you were hiding in the corner. by
That
yourself.
seems embellished. I remember loving clowns and having parties. You.
That seems a little factual, Jen. Don't show
Listen,
up.
I was
with
there when
facts.
I was 3.
You don't embellish. Can I say that?
You can. I said that.
You can. Yeah.
Yes,
said,
you can.
yeah.
You
That's
can-
hilarious.
We accept street
That's
talk.
hilarious. So,
Street talk.
conflicting reports about the clown, the real life clown fear.
Yeah, we're gonna have to go back to the news desk and sort this out. This is
Yeah.
so you're afraid of bears,
Yeah.
but not clowns.
Yeah.
Okay. So I love him so much. I'm trying to get him to get over his fear that for our anniversary one year, I give him a painting of a bear.
She also has a tattoo of a bear.
Wait a minute.
Whoa.
Don't you have a painting of a bear that's from Tyler?
Oh no, we don't. I don't have a painting of a
So-
bear. I got doves from Tyler, and then I got
Doves.
Doves are not as scary.
yeah.
Sure.
No. Rob's afraid
I
of
am,
doves,
I am.
ironically, but no.
But there
just
are a lot
me.
of people. What's that fear called when you're afraid of birds?
Birdophobia.
No, it's not.
Ornithological phobia.
What's the phobia?
Something. Hey, you asked something, but I saw my wife.
This is way more interesting. Forget my dumb question.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, no, way more interesting.
Fair enough. True. I'll be here.
Jen, great to see you.
Jen, I'll let you go shower under one condition. you come back and have a conversation with us when we can have more you time.
I would love that.
That'd be awesome.
Man, we would love to do more of this with you, my friend. So please, let's do it.
I don't have the memory that he has. He can like go that episode, but listen,
That's not even about that. You were a high impact player on the series, and we'd love to talk to you about it.
I would love that. Any chance or excuse to hang out with y'all. I miss you guys.
Likewise, my friend.
Miss you too, Jen.
All right, to be continued then. So let's plow forward here. In this episode, or any episode, did you and Jensen have a hard time keeping a straight face at times? Did you break each other a lot?
I broke the most, obviously. Jensen, as y'all know, is pretty excellent at keeping a straight face and laughing later. There were a few times when y'all get to like season, I forget, like my Gadriel Ezekiel season, where I could make him laugh, but it's really difficult to make him laugh. He's pretty good at holding it until they call cut, and then he's like, "You f***ing idiot," you know. There were a few times where he broke. I broke the most, and he wouldn't try and f*** me. I wouldn't try and f*** with him necessarily. I'm sure there were, in 327 episodes, I'm sure there were plenty of times that we did purposely try to make each other laugh, but he was pretty good about, there were times for sure, I'll admit, where it was like a personal affront to me that I couldn't break him. And so I'd really try and like dig deep or do something.
Right.
Yeah, he was better about keeping a straight face. And I would often make myself laugh by like, you know, doing the foot under the table thing, or, you know, like teasing somebody else, or teasing Jim Beaver or whatever, Misha, Alex, when he came around. But yeah, I broke the most for sure.
Yeah, it was always with him. With you, you had a look on your face where you knew you were doing something on the table.
I can't hide it.
But he would be doing just as bad of a thing, but keeping that straight face. Where you're like, oh, A2 Brute?
Yeah.
Like he's,
Yeah,
he's getting me as well.
He was better at hiding.
Got away with it.
I was like,
we were talking earlier about fighting the clowns, and you were saying how hard that day was, and that taking the beating is hard. Was there with doing stunts on the show, where was your line? At what point did you go, I'm going to let the stunt guys do that? Or was that the stunt guys' decision? Or how much when did you go, oh, that's going to be too physical for me?
I think that's a good question. I think a combination, from this specific scene in the barn with the clowns, I did most all of it. I think there was a part where I got slammed on the car. I probably didn't do that. It would also depend on how. I think I was pretty reasonable, believe it or not, at saying like, "Hey, I think that's too much for me," or like, "Hey," and I would when I think it was around season 3 or 4 or 5, like when Jim came around, where I started working out really hard. Like I want to see how big I can get, or yada yada. It wasn't a request from the writers, wasn't a request from the studios. I just wanted to like go work out, and that's how I was kind of like pressure release valving my own stuff I was going through.
Right.
And so then, you know, I was like 230, 240 pounds. I'm like 205 right now.
Oh, wow.
30 pounds heavier and mostly muscle, you know, like I still have ab muscles. No, by the way, I'm 205 now. I no longer have those ab muscles.
Yay. They always made me uncomfortable anyway. Yay.
But I would be honest with our stunt coordinator or my stunt man and be like, hey, do you mind like doing a run first? You know, because you know how these things work. And for the viewing audience, they'll have the fight, it's all set up. They've rehearsed it for a day or 2 or longer. And then they'll show it to you on set. Once you see the space, they'll send you a video. We call it previs, like a pre-visual, and you'll watch it. And then you will go and watch the stunt guys and gals do it. And you either go like, sweet, yeah, let's do it. Or you'll go like, do we mind like doing them first on camera? Because there might be a chance that we don't ever have to do it because you won't see our face. Or they'll be like, yeah, we can do the bit where you get tackled through a table and then you get up in a room and you grab a broomstick and yada, yada, and then you punch. But we don't need to, let's see what we need. And so they'll do it with the stunties first. And like, hey, you know what we do need? We need to cut to you to your face when you grab the broomstick and swing it, you know? And so it was bit by bit. I really enjoyed doing it. There were some really cool things that we got to do. I think Jensen, more than me, was like, I'll do everything. I don't give a shit. You know, like, so he was much more like, throw me around, man, throw me around. I was like, well, might be a 12-hour shoot day.
Yeah.
Don't throw me around as much. If I was challenged, I'd be like, just do it. But I was thinking, and the other thing with Supernatural is, as y'all know, you shoot locationally. So you don't shoot chronologically, and this is a no-brainer for anybody in the industry. But at times, there'd be a giant stunt sequence that we had to get through, and then you shoot the very end of the episode where Sam is crying to Dean about how he's so, like, it's like 4 pages of dialogue. And I'd be like, well, the stunts are going to be badass. My stunt guy is better than I'd ever be. So I want to save some mental bandwidth for this scene, which is pivotal in the arc of the season and for my character.
Sure.
Right.
It would be kind of situationally. If it was like, hey, you're doing a big stunt day, then like doing a big stunt day. But it's like, hey, you're doing a big stunt day. And then we need to go shoot the end of the episode. And then if we have time, we're going to go back to the very beginning of the episode when you're in a suit instead of you. And this also, that clown sequence was in normal clothes, but the boys wore suits a lot in the episode. And I hate wearing suits, especially on set, because you're just all day, you're kind of like,
wow.
I hate it. I hate it in person. I hate it.
Interesting.
Like a kid in church all of a sudden.
Maybe that's it. Maybe it's like PTSD. Are you a therapist as well? Because I'll pay for this.
He will be if you need him to be.
I'll Venmo y'all. But yeah, so I remember that episode in general. You know, you're wearing the dress shoes, and I think I had to run, like, to chase people around. There was like a lion character or something who tries to escape. And so you're running in a suit, and you can't really wear pads if you're going to fall because it shows that you have big old.
Yeah.
But I would do as much, depending on the day. I love doing them.
Yeah.
And I will say, you and Jensen are jarringly good at it.
Oh my God.
I mean, there was plenty of times where I worked with you on Walker or Supernatural where you were saying the stunt guys would do, a fair chunk if need be.
Well, yeah.
I also worked with you guys where you guys did the whole thing, where you knew it so well, and it was like, well, I mean, and you guys were game, and it's, you know how to sell it, and most actors can't do both those things seamlessly. That's a cool arrow in your quiver to also be able to sell that well, because then you get the actor.
Yeah.
Right. As a viewer, you're seeing more of the guy that you're there rooting for, and you're seeing the emotion.
Yeah.
It's not just the motion, it's the emotion.
I remember in season 15, the penultimate episode of the series, and I'm beating you guys. And I just remember being impressed with how well, because we didn't get a lot of time to even plan that out.
No.
And I remember just being impressed with, again, how well you took punches, how well you pretended to be beaten up.
Like throwing yourself on the sand or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that was another big day. We're outside. The location was so damn beautiful that you just kind of look around and they call cut, going like, I can't believe someone's paying me to do this. It's like, okay, back to ones, and then you're throwing yourself on the sand and like, getting up.
Yeah,
that was great.
This is so fantastic having this conversation with you. Thank you so much for being here and talking about this episode, 714. You're awesome in it. It's a hilarious episode in its own really creepy way. I had never seen it, and man, it's a trip. I mean, it's a trippy. And kudos to Michael, living with his husband, who just plays a great, creepy, clown-loving son of a gun.
Yeah, Michael Beck.
But you're great in that episode, and it's such an interesting balance for Sam. So great conversation. Thank you for having it with us.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, buddy.
Hey there, this is Jared Padalecki, and I hope you're enjoying the episode. But we got to pull over for a second for some messages.
If you've ever shopped online, and let's face it, who hasn't? Chances are you've bought something from a business powered by Shopify. You know that purple Shop Pay button you see at checkout? The one that makes buying so incredibly easy? That's Shopify. And there's a reason so many businesses sell with it, because Shopify makes things easier, and not just for shoppers. They make it easy to start and run your business. Shopify is the commerce platform behind 10% of all e-commerce in the US, from household names like Mattel and Gymshark to brands just getting started. It gives you a leg up from day dot with hundreds of beautiful ready-to-go templates to express your brand style so you can get up and running fast. You can tackle your important tasks, from inventory to payments to analytics and more, all in one place. You can also spread your brand's word with built-in marketing and email tools built for you to find and keep new customers. And remember that iconic purple Shop Pay button that's used by millions of businesses around the world? It's why Shopify has the best converting checkout on the planet. Your customers already know and love it. If you want to see less carts being abandoned, it's time for you to head over to Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/realm. Go to shopify.com/realm. Shopify.com/realm. I love a multi-use beauty product, like an eye/cheek/lipstick. It makes a full face so much easier, plus you only need to bring one product along for touch-ups. And whether you're all about simple mascara and gloss, or you love to play with bold shapes and colors, you gotta have that trusty favorite you turn to for every look. Thrive Cosmetics makes certified 100% vegan and cruelty-free products you can depend on for everything from simple daily wear to show-stopping self-expression. And it's all made with clean, skin-loving ingredients, high-performance and trademarked formulas, and uncompromising standards. And Thrive Cosmetics is beauty that gives back. For every product purchased, they make a donation towards 8 major causes, including social justice organizations and those impacted by cancer and homelessness. It feels good knowing that when I purchase a product, I'm also able to give back to causes that matter to me. And one product I love from Thrive Cosmetics is the Brilliant Eye Brightener. Like I said, I love a product that can have multiple uses, and the Brilliant Eye Brightener is just that. It's an eyeshadow and highlighter stick that's super blendable, and I'm slowly but surely stocking up on the 31 shades that it comes in. Try your new trusty favorites with an exclusive set for our listeners. New customers can get the Liquid Lash Extensions mascara and a mini-sized Brilliant Eye Brightener at a special set price with free shipping available at thrivecosmetics.com/thrive. Or save more with 20% off your first order at thrivecosmetics.com/thrive. That's Thrive Cosmetics, CAUSEMETICS.com/thrive for 20% off your first order.
Hey there, thanks for listening. Now, back to the episode.
Well, you don't do much better than getting Jared Padalecki to sit down with you and talk about a Jared Padalecki-centric episode, do you?
That is true, man. That is true. So great to have him back. And, we haven't talked to him since the very beginning of this podcast. So it was great to sort of catch up and go, now that we've seen 7 seasons, now we know what we're talking about. You know what I mean?
Exactly. We know a thing or two about a thing or two. And also, it's so cool to get his perspective, man. I mean, he and Jensen are the boots on the ground for the entire show. They are the characters. They embodied all of this and brought it all to life. And so, there is no perspective that is going to be as nuanced and weighted as theirs. And so it's really interesting, even as their friend, just to sit there and have this one-on-one with Jared. This is not something we do. We don't talk shop like this. This was fascinating.
Yeah, really great. Well, thank you, Rich.
And thank you, Rob. And thank you, Jared.
Yeah, thank you, Jared, for joining us. And thank you, our next section.
It's our segment called Thank You. No, it's not.
Thank you.
I'm going to go ahead and thank Trey Booty, too, because if I don't, he won't put reverb on my voice when I say, mythology, 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 mythology.
Well, fear of clowns is known as cholorophobia, from the Greek word kolobathristes, meaning one who walks on stilts. Huh.
That's weird that there's one word that means one who walks on stilts. I don't know why you would stitch together one word that means that.
And also just that the Greeks...
Good for the Greeks, man. I mean...
Yeah, the Greeks had some people who walked on stilts and that...
I guess. I mean, was Crete just filled with stilt walkers?
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't know.
It seems like a weird one.
Funny.
By the way, colorophobia, very different than color phobia, which is the fear of colors.
Is it?
And kohlrabi phobia, which is a fear of the vegetable kohlrabi.
Oh.
And calling Robbie phobia, which is fear of calling your buddy Robbie.
Fear of calling me Robbie. Not fear of calling me on the phone.
No, that's easy. But you say Robbie to you and you snap, whew, that's no trip to the beach. Robert, the Plucky Pennywhistle establishment is inspired by the franchise Chuck E. Cheese, better known as Charles Edward Cheese, and his rival organization, Show Business Pizza, which was known on the streets as Showbiz Pizza.
Wait, Chuck E. Cheese and Showbiz Pizza, 2 different places. Yeah.
Charles Edward Cheese in the mid-90s started a pizza establishment. Charles Edward is not a mouse.
Okay.
But his last name is Cheese. And so he thought, it makes sense. I either got to start a cheese shop, some kind of fromagerie, or a pizza joint. He started a pizza joint, and the rest is history. He got a robotic band. to play Happy Birthday to the kids.
Right.
And put a bunch of games in there, sells alcohol to the parents.
Right.
I'll tell you, Nate Bergazzi does a really funny thing, a funny bit about Chuck E. Cheese.
Oh, really?
I'll leave it there. Guys, Google that and check it out. It's hilarious.
Yeah, I'll Google that. Well, I remember Showbiz Pizza as a kid. We didn't have Chuck E. Cheese. We had Showbiz Pizza because it was a family entertainment center and pizza restaurant chain that launched in 1980 in Kansas City, Missouri.
Oh my gosh.
An hour from where I grew up in Missouri. It was created by Robert L. Brock, a Holiday Inn franchisee, in partnership with Aaron Fetcher of Creative Engineering, who developed the animatronic band The Rockafire Explosion. The band featured characters like Billy Bob, Fats Geronimo, and Mitzi Mozzarella, performing music alongside arcade games and pizza.
That's actually convenient that the actress's last name was Mozzarella.
It is true. It's a crazy coincidence that
Mitzi is a nickname.
Yeah. Mozzarella.
Her name was Elizabeth, but Mozzarella was her last
It's
name.
her last name, yeah.
And that's
her parents.
amazing.
Parents were immigrants from Italy.
I wonder if Robert ever met Charles Edward Cheese.
I wonder if Robert L. Brock met Charles. But Showbiz Pizza was inspired by the earlier success of Chuck E. Cheese, founded by Rich.
Yes, Robert. Showbiz Pizza was indeed inspired by the early success of Chuck E. Cheese, founded by Pong creator. Pong, remember Pong, dude?
How could you not?
But with our age group, that was the first ever video game.
That's right, Atari.
Digital tennis. Two long rectangles knocking a square around the screen.
That's
it was
right.
magic.
So
nobody had seen anything like it.
Right.
So Pong creator who founded Chuck E. Cheese was a man named Nolan Bushnell, not Charles Edward Cheese. Well, I stand corrected.
Shock with everybody.
Nolan Bushnell, who must have been made of money after Pong. Brock had initially planned to partner with Bushnell before going a separate way. You got to wonder what happened.
Yeah, I know. Something.
Two lead guitar players not wanting to be in the same band, man. You know what I mean?
I feel like there's a movie there.
There's a movie there to be sure. The Cheese Wars.
Yeah.
By the mid-1980s, Showbiz and Chuck E. Cheese became district competitors. Became direct competitors. Probably district competitors too, but they became direct competitors. However, in 1984, Chuck E. Cheese parent company went bankrupt.
Ooh.
And Showbiz Pizza acquired it. So now Showbiz owns Charles Edward
Right, so to
Cheese.
unify the brands and reduce licensing costs, Showbiz began phasing out the Rockafire band in 1990 and replacing them with Chuck E. Cheese characters. By 1992, all locations were rebranded as Chuck E. Cheese's, and the Showbiz name was retired.
I had to pause there because I'm like, wow, trippy, because Showbiz bought Chuck E. Cheese,
Yeah.
but then they give up their own name and characters.
Well, probably because the Chuck E. Cheese of it all was a stronger, brand.
I know. It's trippy that Chuck E. Cheese is the one that went bankrupt, because that joke is always made about Chuck E. Cheese. Like, that's what you always hear about. The giant mouse and the name of it and all that stuff.
I'd love to know more about the characters behind that. You know what I mean? What were Robert Brock and Pong creator Nolan Bushnell like,
Yeah, and you got to wonder what happened to Mitzi, too. I mean, not that you can't do something cheese-related. You don't have to go from Showbiz Pizza to something else cheese-related, is my point, if your last name is Mozzarella. But it certainly doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
Right,
but and if you're a musician looking to play a restaurant, how great to get a job in a place that serves pizza.
Oh my God. I mean, that's a dream come true, and kind of it's a golden handcuffs, I guess.
Yeah.
You're going to get paid. Yeah. You got to live with the name Mozzarella, but you're also using it to your advantage. So,
I have to tell you, to this day, I did not know that Showbiz and Chuck E. Cheese were related.
No, we've learned a lot. Robert,
Richard,
those are kind of serious facts.
That's right. That's right.
So let's switch gears, shall we?
Yeah, please.
And step into fun facts. Fun facts.
The name Plucky Pennywhistle is likely a reference to Pennywise, who is the clown monster in Stephen King's It.
I would imagine that's true.
I just saw on HBO in the fall, there's going to be a new series, also a Stephen King created series. Is basically a prequel to Pennywise. So the creation of Pennywise.
Oh, we can see Pennywise as a boy.
Something, I don't know.
As a lad. I can't wait. The German title of this episode is Es sind schon wieder clowns, which translates to it is clowns again.
Which doesn't really I don't know, it's just not quite as strong, maybe.
No,
it's clowns again.
Like sigh, clowns.
I see something from Japan, but I can't pronounce this. Do you want to take it?
Dude, I can't read Japanese, but I can give you a loose translation. The happy, fun clown that kills you.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Wow. Michael Beck, who played Howard, is the husband of Julie McNiven, who played Anna.
You gotta want. Did they meet in Supernatural? Did Supernatural have anything to do with them meeting?
No, because they married before this episode aired.
Oh, they were married before this. Okay.
I met them originally when they were just boyfriend girlfriend at a convention in Australia, and she was appearing and I was appearing, but he wasn't appearing at all because he hadn't been.
Lovely couple, those two. Lovely couple.
Lovely.
The children's artwork on the wall was all drawn by the children of Supernatural crew members. Oh, nice.
Oh, that's sweet.
That's really neat.
Huh. The sparkly unicorn horn was attached to the horse with magnets so that it was easily removable between takes. An adjoining strap would remain for the rest of the horse's life.
The horse was not damaged when they implanted the magnet in the
skull,
horse's skull. We're kidding. 5 stars.
5 stars.
5 stars. No animals were injured. It was a 5-star level of care given to that horse. 5 stars. During the scene where Dean helps stop a kid from cheating on the skee-ball machine, the score in the machine fluctuates as the coverage changes back and forth.
Oh.
Damn it! Now I'm out of the story.
Yeah, I missed that.
It's kind of crap that kills me.
I was really mad at that boy, though. I do not like cheating.
I don't like cheating at skee-ball, man. I love skee-ball. Robbie and I've played skee-ball. Skee-ball is legit. And that kid or any kid who just wants the tickets, not on my watch.
Not at all.
Not on Dean's watch.
Not on Dean's watch. Not on our watch. Not on your watch.
Speaking of watch, what a good watch this whole episode was. And a
really fun.
Great series of facts shared. I learned a lot. And hey, a Jared Padalecki interview.
Come on.
You know what's more rare than the unicorn in this episode?
Jared Padalecki.
A Jared Padalecki interview.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Really terrific. Fun episode, fun podcast. We did it, guys. We really did it.
So remember, 5 stars.
This episode of Supernatural features Jared Padalecki as Sam Winchester and Jensen Ackles as Dean Winchester.
Guest stars include Michael Blackman Beck, Caroline Cave, Jennifer Spence, Laura J., and Dagan Nish.
Plucky Pennywhistle's Magic Menagerie was written by Andrew Dabb and Daniel Laughlin and directed by Mike Roll.
Editing by Anthony Pinker. Music by Christopher Leonards.
Executive produced by Robert Singer and Sarah Gamble.
Supernatural was created by Eric Kripke.
This episode originally aired on February 10th, 2012.
This episode of Supernatural Then and Now was hosted and executive produced by Richard Spade Jr. and Rob Benedict.
Produced by Stephen Hine. Written by Stephen Hine and Haida Holscher.
And edited and associate produced by Trey Booty.
What's up, buddy?
Music provided by Tim Wynn.
The episode was recorded with the help of Sonic Fuel Studios.
This podcast is from Story Mill Media.
Follow the podcast on Instagram and YouTube at SPN Then and Now.
Become a member of the podcast to get early access, chat rooms with other podcast fans, and video interviews at patreon.com/SPN Then and Now.
However, they did feed the boy
pizza,
Skittles, so that it would fart rainbows. 5 stars for effort, everyone. It's for effort.
5 stars. I would like you to find a podcast that tries harder while doing it poorly, trying harder to get a Skittles fart joke out. You show me that podcast, maybe I'll give you back a star. But until that day, 5 stars. I also learned that you actually don't know everything there is to know about Showbiz Pizza. Your civic pride isn't overwhelming, and I'm not impressed.
Right. Maybe it was my acting ability.
I take it all back. Yeah, you really sold it. You know what? I got to tell you something, Rob. The entire time you were doing that Showbiz Pizza thing, I did not know you were reading from our sheet.
You thought that I just had that in my head?
I thought you knew stuff because it was from your area.
That's hilarious.
And I was like, wow, Rob really has a lot of civic pride.
You know me. I don't remember anything. I was
baffled.
Wow.
And then
acting.
And let's not forget that great Skittles unicorn joke that Rob landed like an ace pilot.
Do I need to read all the ones that you flubbed up during?
Buddy, I'm going with the 5-star bet.
Story Mill Media.
Hey folks, we're the hosts of Comic Sans, the podcast about comics for those who are sans knowledge. I'm Yen, a reader, writer, liver, and breather of comic books.
And I'm Nat. I used to know absolutely nothing about comics, but now...
So actually, I've got a quiz for you.
I still have a lot to learn about comics.
Thank you. On Comic Sans, I make Nat read some of my favorite works in the medium, including Saga, Daredevil, and the Flintstones.
And Yen talks about what makes that comic special. Sometimes it's a story, sometimes it's...
Paneling, gutters, page turns, colorings, lettering, semiotics, juxtaposition.
Okay, Professor, save it for the episodes.
You can listen to Comic Sans on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
You can binge our first 2 seasons. That's over 20 episodes on 20 different comics.
And we just launched Season 3, new episodes every 2 weeks.
Can you actually change your personality if you want to? How does peer pressure work, and why is it so powerful? Should you ever really trust your gut when you make a big decision? These are just a few of the topics we've recently covered on my podcast, Something You Should Know. I'm the host, Mike Carruthers, and each episode of Something You Should Know covers multiple topics that are likely relevant to you. You'll discover things you can use in your life today, right now, like how to have a great conversation, how to be more courageous, the anatomy of the perfect apology, and much, much more. To date, there are over 1,000 episodes of Something You Should Know, and we've gotten over 4,000 mostly 5-star reviews. I invite you to check out Something You Should Know. Look for the bright yellow light bulb on the blue background. Something You Should Know, wherever you listen to podcasts.